Our next story is scary. Very scary. Imagine this. You're at home, it's nighttime, you hear a knock on your door. You open it to find a letter. Strange, because you were not expecting any letters. You take it inside, you close the door, you sit down to read it, and this is what the letter says. This is what it says. Your house will catch fire on August at 12:34 a.m. How would you feel after reading this letter? Terrified, probably. And if another letter comes, this one too will say the same thing. But what if the letter says something different? What if it said you would lose someone very close to you? You'd probably think it's just some sick joke played by some bored teenagers. But what if they were right? What if their prediction came true? Your reaction would depend on how much you trust predictions. Some people believe they can predict the future. They say it's their gift, their sixth sense. Others dismiss it as mere coincidence. A lot of stories have been written about predictions, about premonitions, clairvoyance, extrasensory perception, or ESP. Today we bring you the story of a town where premonitions became a reality. It is the story of a small American town where strange things started happening. It was the year 1994. People started receiving letters. These letters had one thing in common. They all predicted the future. Now, the letters were postmarked the same day they were received, and what they said came true. One resident saw an accident in her dreams. The next day she got a letter saying she would meet with an accident. Later that day she was involved in a car crash. Another resident saw his wife being strangled in his sleep. He reported the dream to the police, but they did not take any action. The next day he found his wife dead. She had been strangled. These incidents kept repeating. People saw their deaths in their dreams. Then they got a letter confirming their fate. People were scared. They could not cope with the premonition and then the death. A young man named Jay decided to investigate. He lived in the town of Mill Grove in Ohio. When he heard the story of the strange letters, he thought it was absurd. He thought it was one of those hoaxes towns make up to attract tourists. But when his own father received a letter, Jay decided to take action. His father saw his death in a dream. The letter said he would die in a car crash. Jay convinced his father to break the fourth wall. That's what we call ignoring a prediction. Jay said, "Let's go out for dinner." His father agreed. And while they were out, Jay told him, "Let's switch places. Let me drive." He knew his father would agree to this, so he switched the gear. The car crashed into a tree. Jay died on the spot. His father survived. After Jay's funeral, his mother consulted a psychic. She wanted answers, any answers. The psychic told her that all the people who had received the letters were somehow connected to each other. She also told her that the letters had a deeper meaning, that they held a secret, one that went back 30 years. This was certainly not going to be easy, but Jay's mother was determined to get to the bottom of the truth. She started digging through old documents. She collected the names of everyone who had received the letters. She then went to the local newspaper office and asked them to pull the obituaries for these people. She wanted to know how and when they died. She made a list of the names and cross-referenced them with the town's cemetery records. Her research led her to a particular grave. The grave did not have a name. There was no headstone either. But she found the date of birth and death. The person buried here was born on May 1964 and died on February 1995. The grave was just 3 months old. Why was this person buried without a name? Who was he or she? Just then, Jay's mother spotted a faded newspaper clipping attached to the fence around the grave. It talked about a missing child. The boy in the photograph was never identified. He disappeared 30 years ago. Could the two cases be linked? Is the boy the one who was killed last month? And if so, why did he send those letters? If he didn't, then who did? Just then, Jay's mom met an old woman named Helen. Helen had seen the news report about the psychic and her premonitions. She told Jay's mother that the psychic had once visited her. She, too, had a premonition. She saw herself drowning. Next day, she got a letter saying she would drown. Before she could do anything about it, she had a heart attack. But before she died, the psychic told her something. She told her that there was a big secret buried in Mill Grove, one that has been kept hidden for 30 years. She said someone very powerful was behind it. The person was still alive and he was afraid of exposure. The psychic warned Helen to stay away from his past. Then the question is, who is this person and what is the secret? To find out, Jay's mother went to see the mayor. The mayor, however, refused to talk to her. He threatened her instead. He said the dead should be left where they are. He asked her to stop digging, but Jay's mother was not going to give up. She searched through more records. She found the names of people who had served on the town council between 1964 and 1965. One name caught her attention. It was Mayor Wilkins, the present mayor's father. She now knew what her next move should be. She took a bus to the nearby town and checked into a motel. She did not want anyone in Mill Grove to know that she was there. The next morning, she went to the local library. She began looking through old newspapers. She wanted to learn about the missing child. On February 1965, she found a report about a couple who had lost their son. The child was 10 years old. His name was Tommy Wilkins. The boy was never found. The case went cold. But Jay's mother felt a connection. Could Tommy Wilkins be the boy who was buried in the unmarked grave? To find out, she went to the cemetery. She dug up the grave. Inside, she found a small box. It contained a shirt. Jay's mother took the shirt to the police. They found Tommy's DNA on it. Finally, the mystery of the unmarked grave was solved. But what about the killer and the predictions? Well, she got an answer to that too. Jay's mother went to the present-day Mayor Wilkins. She confronted him. She told him what she knew. Mayor Wilkins admitted his guilt. He confessed to killing Tommy 30 years ago. He said he was covering up the murder. He killed the witnesses. That's when the premonitions began. Tommy's spirit was haunting him. So were the spirits of the other victims. The mayor killed them to cover up the first murder. But why? We don't know. And just as she's about to find out, the screen fades to black. That's all for today. Join us tomorrow for the final part of this thrilling story. See you tomorrow.